So, hey everyone. Firstly, let's welcome let's welcome Anurag. Thanks a lot for taking time out to join us today evening. After your whole working at a at office, really means a lot. So, I think so. You all already know from the topic itself, but Anurag is a currently a product designer too at Flipkart, and previously he was working at Lollipop Design. So I would pass it on to Anurag to just start with a quick intro about him, and yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate being invited as well. So, firstly, I don't know a lot of people. I don't think anyone here knows. It's supposed to happen on Sunday,
I
and
don't tell anyone. It was supposed to happen on Sunday, so let's chill.
it's supposed to happen on Sunday, and I don't know what it was, but something or the other came up, and then I like half an hour or an hour before. I think I told Arpit, listen, can you please do it like a few days later? And he was very happy. I appreciate that.
Most welcome.
Hi everyone. Thank you for joining in. I know it's 7:30. To be honest, if you guys are working and you've joined in after office, I understand the mode of just not joining any session and just going to sleep. Being here, uh, I am Anurag Shastri. I am a product designer at Flipkart. Before this, I was working for Vodafone Idea through Lollipop Design. So there, I redesign for uh, made the homepage. Right now, at Flipkart, user retention and user growth, and uh, yeah, my background in IT engineering. I was in NMIMS University, Mumbai. Uh, it's a very eight honest and a lot of engineering colleges to jump into software designing or anything of that sort. People go into masters in data science and so many other things. So it's still like 2 3 days ago, I think there was another session that happened inside my college. So my looking at the entire world right now and um, everyone UX and their entire boot camp sort of industry that's becoming of it. So even my college has created a course or an elective course on UI, and it's so weird for me. I don't know whether they're actually going to do well. So there was
why?
this.
Is that- Why do you think they're not gonna do well?
Hey, I was in IT engineering and now I'm in product designing. I
Uh-huh.
really don't know. I don't know this mind. So
Oh, I so agree. So I'm also a computer science graduate and I'm designing now. I
yeah.
feel once you're in coding, either you end up liking it and loving it, or either end up hating it. I was the one who hated it, and I thought design is, more creatively good for me. So I ended up out here. That's super cool. Yep.
I get what you're saying. So to be honest, when I had started, I loved coding, but
Mm-hmm.
I could not deal with my professors because they were teaching from slide decks
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and very uh, helpful
I
to
can
say the
relate with
least.
you so much. I hated the sliders, which is 70, 80 slides with random shit, and I'm like, what is going on? Shouldn't I be supposed
Uh,
to code out here? Oh man, that's quite funny. So I talked to my few friends back in US. So let's just he's learning operating system. He's like, bro, I'm learning operating system. I'm building also one. I'm like, what? You all build operating system and you're learning operating system? We did maximum a query, maximum a thing in terminal. We were happy about it. Like we, learn terminal. So
yeah.
that it's crazy, of the kind of education we have in different countries. True that.
I,
Um, so, what has your journey been, Anurag, to become a designer from an engineering background? You have reached quite far, I think. So, you're already a designer at Flipkart, and how has it been till now? What was your thoughts? why did you shift, and how did you land up like upon design?
Uh, Firstly, I really appreciate that I've reached very far. Uh, I'm assuming that's the case with a few people over here as well. But to be very honest, I don't feel so. I'm very hyper aware of the fact that I have a very very long way to go. Uh,
Hmm.
in any essence, I really do appreciate uh, the appreciation from your end. So my job, and I really don't know what to say. So it honestly started from the first year of college, where college I saw what they're teaching, and I immediately thought that this is not what I can do.
Hmm.
This is
Hmm.
not okay. Um, I have no problem in coding. I have no problem in learning coding. I feel like that's one of the biggest factors that
Hmm.
you can because once you begin or once you start creating something over there, everything is possible.
Hmm.
It's
That's the
insane.
whole fun of coding.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right.
And it's like if you are you know coding as well,
That's the
it's like
ultimate
the world.
combination.
Yeah, you don't need anyone at that point.
Yeah, like you are the solopreneur out there.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think in my first so NMIMS University, Mumbai, big with
Hmm.
events. Uh, so, even in our engineering, we had we had a lot of emphasis on the events that we used to do. So, we used to have hiring drives of sorts where you're just taking in interns and then not just making them work for the longest time.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so I was one of those interns who got in right in my first year.
That's super cool. Why design though? Why not coding jobs?
Yeah, to be honest, I think in my 12th standard, probably in the summer of my 12th standard, my mom pushed me into learning
Hmm.
Photoshop and stuff.
Oh,
So
that's so cool.
from mom's perspective, especially like an Indian mom's perspective, like a typical Indian mom's perspective,
You
it's yeah, I very much uh, so yeah, I saw that there was this one really cool looking dude with like the longest beard, and
was he cred?
he looked like a hippie man. I
I see.
swear
I
to
see.
God,
Whenever I think about hippie, I always think about head of design at cred. Um,
no,
forgot his name. Yeah, I forgot
hurry,
his name right now, but yeah,
hurry, man,
Harish,
this
I
guy
think.
was he was so good at coding as well.
Mhm.
He, I think that was his preference. He really liked creating things.
Mhm.
So that's where, to be honest, it really began for me because I saw him. I was like, cool, you know what? I'm just going to go over there. I'm going to tell him that I know these softwares and I'm just going to start creating things. The first thing I
Mhm.
created was a bull on paint. It looked so bad. It looked as though I feel like a toddler would have drawn something better than I did, to be
At
very
least and
honest.
that's how you start.
So honestly, that's where I started. So the graphic designing got much better at it in a year. Started freelancing from that moment, and then 2 years in, I was into product designing. Then courses just to upskill myself.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm. What kind of courses?
so I did one on Udacity. That was like a degree course. So it just helped me create one case study, or at
Hmm.
least give me like some essence of what UX designing is.
Hmm.
Course that I did was through HFI. So I
Okay,
was
the
so
HFI certified training.
yeah.
Oh,
So
cool. That's super
so
cool.
that is what I did. I feel like the HFI one was a lot more helpful. It
Well, you know, I'm
it
planning to look into it. Just not sure.
I'll tell you what now I wouldn't go for it because it's so expensive.
Yeah, it's one like 49,000 for 10 days. I'm like insane cost.
Too much, yeah, too much.
That that's
I did,
did you finish the course? Both these courses.
yeah.
That's cool enough.
It's
I
that
mostly
10 day course, so it just
that's good.
happens in
That's
the
good. And so I think we are till now this was journey of you kind of getting into product design, and now you're kind of sure, you want to get into product design. So how do you
yeah.
land your first job or internship? Because I feel from engineering background, and I think so many of us face that problem that landing that first job because that bias is there. I'm not from a design college, so how do you go about that?
So I graduated right at the start of COVID.
Hmm.
I didn't, funnily enough, we didn't even have final exams. We just
That is
passed
so
on our,
lucky.
we had the last semester was just all the that got scaled up.
Hmm.
So,
That is so cool. I'm envious out there.
uh, so and then I spent the next 3 4 months just upskilling myself, and it was mostly doing YouTube tutorials, just visual design skills.
Hmm.
Um, and that's when I that's when I did my on Udacity as well. So
Hmm.
with like, one project in my cluster, I just started applying places. I would say that I'm very lucky that I got into the first job. It wasn't the right fit nice from my end, and I think their expectations of me were really high because they
Hmm.
hired me as senior UX designer, but they had never had a UX designer ever before in their agency.
Okay.
So they really wanted someone to come in and in some aspect of experience designing
Hmm.
because up until then it was just 10 visual designers creating sites or creating some website with their own
Okay.
like just
So
copy
your
pasting.
first job was a design agency itself?
Yeah, that was at it's an agency in Mumbai.
Oh, okay, cool. Got
Yeah,
it.
so
Cool. That,
nine
that's
months
super.
there.
Muskan has a
So
question. What do you see in case studies?
right now, oh, I see stories. If I know that there are a lot of case studies out there, if any sort of story, if any sort of case study can grab your attention right from the get go, tell you what is what they've solved, and you don't find the part where they've explained their solution, then I think that's like a good case study. I
That's
haven't really seen it with any. So we like one or two interns, and I was part of the hiring drive. I think I saw it in one case, like project analysis, but
mhm.
no.
Hmm. That's cool. I think so many people will have this question now that you have told you hire at Flipkart. How is that whole process? And I think so many of you or many of them out here want to be and part of it. So just what is the process and how tough is it
Being
in
hired
order?
at Flipkart,
Yeah, being an intern or being a product designer at Flipkart.
intern obviously easier because since we are about 100 and 160 designers, we really
Damn, that's
understand.
a big team.
Yeah, so that's about 70 product designers.
Mhm.
Then goes to creative designers and then content, and then UX researchers as well.
Mhm.
If you are looking at being an intern, I think it's very. I think the scope for potential, uh, the scope for potential is something that we really look into. Uh,
Mhm.
how much of growth can you show probably going forward, or how you would fit into our work environment? So it's never really about what you're showing. Like like interview. It's more along the lines of how good of an understanding do you have from a product line, how good of an understanding do you have that it's not about the screens that you're showing, but it's more what is the problem that you're solving, or how easy are you making it, or how much of an understanding do you have about the user.
Makes
And
sense.
yeah, and I think for being hired as a product designer, I would just do X whatever I just said. Like you just need to have you need to have a good understanding of what you're trying to even present, and more importantly, you need to have case studies under your belt. Case studies that aren't long, case studies that aren't like they don't bore the interviewer.
Makes sense.
In my 1 hour of interview, like my first interview round, I could only show my like I could only show them just one case study.
Mhm.
Never even the second case study.
Mhm.
So yeah,
That's super cool. And like, do you need some prerequisites to even get noticed at that, Flipkart thing? Or like, how would you approach? Like, how did you apply from a portal, or it was just some referrals? What was your approach?
both. I did apply on the portal, and I did referral. I'm a little unclear on whether I did get it or not.
I see. But you got a call.
Yeah, I got one.
Cool enough. That's cool enough.
Yeah.
Devesh has a question out here. That they're asking, do you follow design process at Flipkart, and how things work on that side?
We do. Our philosophy, to be honest, Flipkart is used by about at least 150 million customers in India. Uh, for us, it's very simple. That how do we design for a billion people? I, I'm assuming you guys must be confused with 150 to 1 billion. How are you like evaluating that? So 1 billion people is what our country is basically. So when
Mm-hmm.
you think of all those people, uh, you're basically also looking at the e-commerce potential that you can crack with. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Truth is, there's at least 300 million customers who in tier 4 cities that uh, aren't aware of how to use apps like Flipkart or Shopsy. For them, e-commerce is a very far-fetched sort of a concept. But now that slightly getting a little more aware of what e-commerce is, they're trying
Mm-hmm.
out apps like Flipkart,
Mm-hmm.
Shopsy,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Misho.
Shopsy, I think, is your app for more of a tier three and tier four, tier two and tier
Yeah,
three cities. Yeah,
yeah. There's Misho as well. Amazon doesn't really deliver this. Amazon's very targeted towards to Metro, and I think Tier 1.
so, what do you mean by when you're saying and designing for billion users? Like, what kind of things do you keep in mind when you're designing at such scale? Um,
Keep it simple. That's
but
the
that's the ultimate thing. It should be simple to understand.
it's a tenet that we follow. If you make anything complicated, know that a power user is not going to use it. A
There's no
very normal user or someone who's just they will find it extremely intimidating. So why even make something like that?
Makes sense. Makes sense. So the goal is to keep simplifying until it becomes that general norm that anyone can understand.
Keep it as simple as possible. The moment they don't make them put a lot of effort into the app, if they can read something, read something in one line, or if a visual is able to communicate something without them even reading it, that's the goal.
That's the best way around it. Makes sense. Cool, cool, cool. I think so. We deviated a bit from the topic, but yeah, getting back to it. So in your design journey, what kind of design challenges did you face as a designer? Applying at different places, be it getting into design fields, or be it at a daily job, and and how did you basically solve them? Like your major design problems or career problems in that area, and how did you basically solve it up on your side?
From faced. Initially, in my first job, I was put in a role where I didn't think I should have been put in. Needed a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that is something that I genuinely thought was missing till 9 months, um, because I was following the book. But one thing that I realized when I moved to Lollipop, when I came here as well, um, it's that constraints really throw the book out of the window.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So, what do you can you explain more on that?
so, so I have a mentor here in Flipkart, and honestly, he's perfect. Like, too good. Flipkart loves him. He's a director of product design. So he, in a very random throwaway conversation with me and another friend. So we had just gone out for lunch, and we were speaking design in general, and he said this one thing that product designing or whatever you're doing right now, experience designing is basically common sense. If
Mm-hmm.
if the developers would have been able to do this, then our jobs would never have existed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In that is like the perfect world. Currently, the situation is such that you have managers and product designers who are trying to come up with different solutions. Um, Developers who execute those solutions, but then timelines like constraints like timelines, money, um,
Collaboration.
collaboration, everything just comes in, and then whatever process or design process that you probably I'm going to go step by step. If it happens that I'll reiterate over here, or step by step reiterate, never goes.
Makes sense.
Your projects can get shelved, your projects can get expedited, uh, anything can happen. So it's majorly about being in the moment and just figuring out things in the best manner.
Totally makes sense. That's super cool way to look at design. I think so. Many times when you see this and you're like, this should be common sense, right? uh, and then you're like, okay, and so I think so. My product manager was telling me once, and we built a referral system, and I was so he was always telling me underselling things on my case studies, and I'm like, why? He's like, bro, these are things are not common. It's common sense for you because you're building it for a while, but people
Yeah,
don't think it's common sense. That's a very cool insight, I would say. Makes sense. You need to outline sell it in a way that like everything you build is common sense somewhere if you think this was the most best way to go about it, but the whole perspective of why and stuff like that, uh, like it's not common for everyone, I feel at times, and it's kind of
absolutely.
good way to sell it. That's cool. So as it's been for you quite some time in product design. So did you have a goal in the start that hey, I want to be at this place, I want to join that company, or does your goal keep changing? Because as unit designers, we do have lots of goals.
I did, but my goal initially was, funnily, my goal was to be the CEO of Google. That
Oh,
was
that's super cool, man.
yeah, that was the most ambitious goal that I kept for myself. And I wanted to learn coding. I wanted to learn it. I genuinely thought that to get somewhere, I just needed to learn how to develop things, and
Mm-hmm.
then I would be there. Uh,
Mm-hmm. When that hit you that that is not as simple as as it looks like.
yeah, my world came crashing down. I don't know when, but the dream just broke completely. I do have goals. I used to have a dream. I used to have dream companies of working at Google, Microsoft, but
The Fang.
yeah, fine. I'm happy at Flipkart. It's insane how much I'm growing. It's insane how much I am able to collaborate with people. I love the team that we have.
Mhm.
So I never really thought I would be at Flipkart, but I'm
Mhm.
pretty glad about the fact that I am. If you, but if you do ask me, like, is there still a company that I would like to be at?
Yeah, like you as you told, you want to still grow a lot. So yeah,
Apple, man, Apple.
Apple. Oh, okay. I hardly find people in India who are in Apple. I don't know why. I don't know.
They don't hire it much in India.
Yeah, I think that they don't. They only have one, two offices in India. That's
Yeah.
also. I'm not even sure they hire for product roles in India that much.
No, they don't. Design also, they have very few roles, but and that is also, so they call them design
Design
evangelists.
evangelists.
Yeah, and
So
they are
cool, man. I find it so cool.
it's beautiful, right? The name. Yeah,
I
their roles are as sad
they I think
as
so, the idea of setting apart is in their genes. Everything they do is different. Be it their systems, be it their jobs, be it I think so I was hearing some days back the way they hire it for people is you need to love their product. If you don't love their product, they won't hire you.
yeah.
They just have the goal of that kind of displaying in every goddamn spectrum, be it jobs they hire for or be it anything. So cool. I really find it. But I think so that's really cool. Yeah, for me, that's not even a goal right now I can think of.
Why? What is your goal at this point?
My goal, I don't know, matlab, I would love to be part of, I want to join Spotify. I find it a very cool company.
Oh man, Spotify is nice.
Yeah, I find it a very cool company. I love how data centric they are, and I feel like in a goddamn job of just playing songs, how can you build such a big business? Like with and the consistency they have in their designs and their albums, their whole marketing campaigns, which is leveraged on design. It's insane. I think so. No other company pulls it off like they do in those lines.
Seriously. To be honest, a few other companies have been very like they've been on my mind for the longest time. One, of course, being Figma because damn, what a product!
Insane.
What a product! Notion does really well.
I know. I think so. But Notion. I was reading about their stories, Notions and Figmas. They are very old company. I couldn't even think how old they are.
Yeah,
And it's crazy to see how they survived and grew to the point they are. It's
exactly right. It's
Yeah.
mad.
And the founder of Figma was an intern before he started Figma, and I'm like, how can he do that? How is that possible? So it's just so crazy the way they grew and the product they have built.
It's
And
one of
the
those stubborn startup conversations that became an actual startup.
pardon?
It's one of those stubborn startup conversations that actually
Yeah.
became one of the biggest products in the world.
Right, right, and it's insane the fan following they have. I think so more than anything, the fan following they built. Like people are mad about Notion and Figma. It's insane. People just keep talking about it as if it's like the OG thing out there. And I feel
Funnily, one thing that I've been noticing is this. Okay, so there's this one creator called Islo.
at 200K from oh my god, it's insane.
He sells.
And he's my age. I feel very sad about
I
that.
know, man. I used to feel so bad. Wait, you're 23, right?
I'm 21.
You're 21.
Yeah.
Islo is 21.
Yeah, he's not even 21. He's 19, I think. So 19 or 20.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he is reaching his $1 million soon. I saw his tweet recently. His first $1 million. I'm like, are you kidding me? Selling Notion templates and reaching first $1 million.
Wow, man, I'm gonna be 24 this year. I don't really feel good about my job at all. Damn, okay, interesting. Wait, but okay. Just so everyone aware, it's just try this product called Arc Browser.
Okay, I'm just checking it out. Art
So
browser.
Arc Browser.
Okay.
I'm not kidding. It made Google Chrome, Mozilla, Opera, Safari, everything seem so stupid. Like I have used Arc. I'm using Arc on every laptop that I have. They haven't really started. Like they haven't really released anything for mobile or iPad. So
Mhm.
I
But
could
I think so. The browser market was saturated. Like,
absolutely.
but and how people are making this. And so Brave came in with this whole crypto thing, and it made a dent with no ad free stuff. You're
Yeah,
telling about like new things. It's so cool. Like, people are still trying to build browsers in this market. I feel that is so cool.
yeah. I so okay. So again, I'm just going to deviate a little bit. So Arc basically their entire uh, so philosophy about the product is they don't want to create a they don't want to create a browser as such. They want
Oh,
to create like a space for internet to just exist as a part of it. So
okay.
that in itself has other features that you would usually utilize.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say that you are on so you're probably on your browser, you're probably reading an article,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe you start opening Miro or you start opening anything of that sort to like just mood board something or
Mm-hmm.
short statements or anything of that sort. Arc itself creates like you can get a space for yourself called an ether where everything like screenshots of this
It's very personalized. How much I get it.
or anything that you can do, you it's just a space completely for you.
Okay, so yeah, it may be the next Figma or Notion.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, if it goes that way, why not?
Absolutely. Right.
So, my next question again, going back to topic, next question was for someone who is starting by, and he has a goal, let's just say joining Google, how to break it down, how to structure it in a way that they can reach that goal.
It's interesting. Um, Honestly, you have to look at it more from a perspective of what does that company require. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it never really. So I've noticed this a lot, and I've also noticed this thought process change also. So a lot of people used to think that a lot of people have this subconscious thought process that they are working for a company, and that it's you're working for them, you're rebuilding whatever they are, and you require that role as much as anything else. But fact is that company also depends highly on you as an individual.
Mm-hmm.
So
Totally
it
agree.
becomes a very it becomes a two-way conversation.
Avoiding relationship, like you gain from us, we gain from you.
Exactly, exactly. So at that point, my goals changed from Google, my goals changed from Microsoft because I realized at some level that I don't think I would ever fit into Microsoft.
Why
I
so?
need I need something fast-paced. I need something that keeps me on my heels. Microsoft, everything is very systemically designed. They go about it. So if a product needs to be shipped, if I don't know, a company is doing it in 3 4 months, Microsoft might take a year out of it, and of
Mm-hmm.
course, quality standards up there.
Makes sense. They must have crazy amount of tests because when they launch a feature, like everybody uses it. So,
Absolutely, exactly. So they're right in their place. Another company that wants to ship in 3 months, they're right in their place.
so what
Uh,
is the timeline of Flipkart? When you say it's not fast paced as these big company. I feel Flipkart is also very big, designed team, 140 people. How fast paced are you all in launching a feature?
as fast as anything can be. We have a GS team that ships in every 15 days.
That's crazy. As startup, we could take more time shipping things. That is
It,
quite fast.
it's great. So it again depends. Everything that we do at Flipkart is very AV oriented, and
Okay,
that is what makes sense for us as well because we
it's
don't.
an e-commerce brand.
Yeah, if it's not working for a batch of people, it's not going to work for the entire audience as well.
So how many A/B tests do you have? Maybe like 10, 5, 6 A/B testings running, or just
At
very
the
few?
moment,
Yeah, like let's just say you're building a feature, and how many A/B tests do you run with the feature?
it depends on each product.
Mm-hmm.
So if it depends on how many variations you can create. Now, let's say that if it's we can go as granular into a single page to see if there is a good amount of uh, there's a good amount of views on that particular page.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of people are probably moving below. Then we'll test out to see what exactly is missing, and we'll
So
create.
keep A/B testing in and just
Yeah.
that's a really cool way to work on a feature. It's like validating and then coming back and validating and coming back.
Yeah, that's why it's a very metric oriented environment, right? Because if the metrics aren't performing well, it gives you at least
End
a
of the
sense.
day, that's the whole point, right? Like there's no
Yeah,
point of design if metrics can't work out. Makes sense.
yeah.
Really good.
So again, sorry to circle back to the question that you asked. Basically, let's say that I am someone who wants to join Google. I would look at what Google's requirements are in the sense from a product designer or from as they call it, user experience designers over there. Um, so that is what I would figure out. My second step would be to actually speak to someone who's currently working at Google
Mm-hmm.
uh, to
Mm-hmm.
understand what do they look for when they're probably interviewing, or what their life is after joining Google. How do they enjoy working at in the
Mm-hmm.
team that they're working at? Would they prefer to go in another space or in another team?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, there is it's hygiene plus as much that as you can understand about the company, and then you just need to sit with yourself and then understand where are you currently. Is
Mm-hmm.
are you even close to where you should be? And
Mm-hmm.
this is the point where you need to make sure that you don't drill down too much into specificities of who you are, because at that point it could very well be that you start thinking that you're not good enough.
Mm-hmm. The
And
overthinking part
yeah, so once you start thinking so, then you will find any company out of reach. Then you will probably start thinking ki, this career isn't for me. So
makes sense. Makes
just have to be fair with yourself. uh, yeah.
that's super cool. That's super capable. So firstly, like you know, let's just say you planned out, you chalked out a plan for you to join Google, okay, and there are these companies that you want to join who you notice that after this you have like chances to get into Google. So how do you gauge it? Like how do you gauge that this is the company I want to join? But again, that's like how do you select things for yourself?
You see where you can grow most at, and you see where you'll be most stable at.
How do you get that? How do you to understand that?
You have to. There is a good bit of risk involved, obviously. So if you do enough research and if you do a good bit of understanding about the current life of those designers or employees,
Mhm.
then the risk keeps going lower and lower.
Makes sense. So
So
do you enough research, talk to people before?
yeah, at some point you'll probably be at like 20% risk, and that's when you might think that it's the right way to go.
Makes sense. Super cool. Um, and how is your kind of way to approach any job? Like when you're applying for jobs, what is your way? How do you start for it?
Honestly, every time that I think about looking for a job, my portfolio comes in front of me, and I just want to tear it down because every time, every single time, my if I look at my portfolio that was last year, I want to cry because it's not nice. I'm not very happy with it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Makes sense.
that's also a good thing because now I know that I've really grown over the year.
Right.
Yeah. So. portfolio rooms in front of me, then I start doing as much research as possible. To be honest, Flipkart was my fourth choice to join. My first three were extremely far fetched, and they were not. They were I knew were something that I wasn't even.
What for your first? You would love to know those still.
Yeah, 100%. I applied to Spotify one. I applied to Figma. I where did I apply? I applied to Google, of course,
Did you get
and
a call back from any of them? Like at least.
the first three absolutely not. No, actually, I did get a. I got a call back from Google, but I
Super
had
crazy. Congrats on that.
thank you. I had just joined Flipkart and I didn't want to.
That's amazing, man. That's really cool. That's great. But yeah, how do you make the chances? Like, what is your mindset to make the chances even getting a call back? Because I feel via normal ways to applying at these jobs, it's shithole because thousands of people are applying. Like you standing out is it's hardly
Yeah,
any chance.
I there's no simple answer to that, to be very honest.
Yeah, I totally agree. No, but yeah, what's your approach to it? You know, like when you're applying at these four companies, what did you think? Like, did you try every way out there, or did you were like, let's just go the straightforward way?
In my head, it's very simple. Um, I I don't want to run behind a company, any one of the fan companies.
Hmm.
I don't want to run behind Meta. I don't want to run behind Apple. I have seen this very, very clearly that once you get to a stage where you are well,
Hmm.
you are well known for your design, you're well known for the way you communicate. As a
Hmm.
designer, person look up to you, these
Hmm.
companies come calling. So I don't want to run behind them. I just want to get to the stage where they come
They
calling.
keep calling. Yeah, makes sense. That totally makes sense. Reach at a place where they call you instead of you applying for them. That
Yeah.
sounds totally good. Now, I think so. This is a very like the whole job market is messed up right now,
Hmm.
with so many things happening in the world. So, first question for someone who is starting by, is it the right time to start in this industry? Because I feel there's lots of supply, no demand kind of situation right now. But what are your thoughts on it?
I won't be able to speak much in terms of other companies, but try to if you have a vision for yourself as to where you want to be, then if there's something that's motivating somewhere, then that's the only thing that'll really push you to keep working. Um, if you're even confused about whether you should start in this career or not, you need to slightly reevaluate why you're making the decision of joining US designing. Is it for the money? Is it because everyone is doing so? Like,
Mhm.
as young as you might be or as old as you might be, it's slightly, it's time for you to start looking at harsh realities. Why are you even choosing to be in this space?
Mhm.
If you foresee yourself being really, really good, start, never stop. Just keep going. Never stop. You'll probably go on Dribble and you'll see everyone being better at visual designing. You'll go on Behance, you'll see incredible people uh, doing a lot of things. Yeah, I was gonna call out the Adobe XD t-shirt, but don't gonna say anything.
Anyway, that'll be bought. It doesn't matter until
Uh,
that is nobody can nobody can point. I haven't got my Figma swags yet, so that's why I'm wearing Adobe t-shirt till now.
you haven't received a Figma t-shirt?
No, not yet.
Oh
Soon,
man,
hopefully. I need to ping the FOF head of India. What's happening?
it's good though. But yeah, just one statement. Just if you were sure, if you can foresee a good future, just don't stop. Go for it.
Cool. Totally makes sense. And yeah, how to navigate in this current job
Job
market?
market.
Yeah.
It would be really wrong for me to say that I see a lot of openings because, to be honest, there are fewer openings than there were a few months ago.
Mhm.
But I also know that new companies keep popping up every single day. Uh,
Mhm.
so it could be a chance for you to become an entrepreneur in some way or form. Uh,
Mhm.
and that could be literally by freelancing. Go on any freelancing website and uh, try to pitch yourself over there. If you can,
Mhm.
like if you can uh, get into any sort of a company or start freelancing for any sort of company, then perfect.
Cool. Makes
Honestly.
sense. But yeah, that makes sense. I think so. And something I noticed nowadays, like I'm also reaching kind of applying for jobs right now. Like people want 3 years experience, but not 1 to 3 years experience, or they want freshers. One of it. So I'm like, what happened to 1 to 3 years people? What to do with that? Because I feel nowadays minimum, like minimum 2 years to 5 years, 2 to 6, 2 to 6.
Do you mind if I ask who which those companies were?
Pardon?
Do you mind if I ask you what companies did you apply
For
for?
sure. So I'm basically looking for fintech or SaaS because e-commerce space is kind of saturated. So, like, there's hardly
If
like
you're looking for SaaS, I just got a call for one. I'll just redirect them to you. That's what you're looking for.
I would love to look for it. Thank you for that. That's cool. Yeah, one I think so. I'm from a fintech. Like I worked at Craze Video Money gaming app. I enjoyed the fintech part of it a lot. It's a very cool app we worked on. Like betting on what's going to happen in the entertainment sector in future.
Nice.
Uh, so I really enjoyed the aspect of how we manage the whole trade thing of the thing because we had to get trade for people who have never like it's for entertainment sector, right? Specifically for people who watch Big Boss or who watch Anupama, but they know shit about trade. Okay, and our idea was we have to make them trade money on future predictions. So how do we make the trade as simple as that that they can go and see they're trading something or not? This is quite a problem. And I think so. We spent hours sitting on call just to figuring out how to show that goddamn trade properly
Right.
and the metrics. So I feel that really kind of something I enjoyed, and maybe I wanna try it
Hey,
out.
if you're really into fintech, you should probably check out this app called Wise.
Wise transfer wise.
No, not Transferwise. This WISE. I don't know if it's new, but it's incredible. If you go on mobile, they just released the screens for Wise today.
Okay, okay.
Um,
I think the transfer wise changed their name to wise.
is that the case?
Yeah.
Oh, then I guess the revamp has really helped them because
Yeah, I think the whole branding was changed on transfer wise, right?
yeah. If that's the case, then
Yeah, I think that I got a client payment recently on Wise, and I was like, bro, this is different side itself. They have made it very. It's like a material design thing right
yeah,
now.
they've changed everything, and I'm
Everything.
so happy to see what they're doing.
I know, and they have made it very minimal. If you see the transfer Wise first one, it was like
Exactly, exactly.
proper big fintech things and all that. Right now, it looks clean, sleek, minimal. Everything's so nice.
I just realized that their entire UI design is very much like Nike's UI
Nike
design.
Plus app,
Yeah. I just realized
the
it.
neon thing.
Damn. Okay, interesting, fun,
Yeah,
good,
I
good
think
app.
they have picked lots of things from Google's material design because see, there's some like nowadays people are picking it from the material design six that came out. Very
Right.
soft edges, using of noise. I think so that's very much in trend right now. Using noise on their textures, giving that slight gradient to make it look nice. It surely makes them look good. Um, and yeah, I think so. This is a very big question again. Today ChatGPT 4 was launched. Um, what is your perspective on future of UI UX design uh, with this AI evolving like crazy out there?
Two statements. One, product designing or being an experienced designer. is never going to be enough,
Hmm.
because as much as so as much as you want to keep excelling in the situation, collaboration is extremely key as a designer. So you will learn a lot of things about product management. You will learn a lot of things about uh, development, business, anything of that sort. So you have to choose what is that extra skill you want to pick up, or extra skills you want to pick up, because you can't just be an experienced designer at the end of your career.
So what do you mean by these extra skills?
Probably you're a product designer and a product manager together. I did a course on product management because I wanted to understand product management from uh, the lens of a product manager. By how do they approach? What is their actual role?
I
Um,
think so. I think so. Like when I first joined the startup, I could think product design is so simple. They make PRD. We have to figure out things.
yeah,
They don't do anything. So I did a course in product management from Next Leap, and bro, I was like, I can't take this role. At least because I felt overwhelmed because I feel the ownership you get. At least at a startup, you're the only one.
exactly, right?
The
Yeah,
ownership you get, if things go wrong, you're gonna be blamed, not
yeah.
the designers, not the engineers. So I feel that's why it's something to take on in a company. I would say that that is a big thing to take on. Like,
It's very very heavy. It's a heavy role, man.
and I think that they're very much responsible for but I think their roles are very much interacting with designers' role also, because they do have to do design thinking when they're thinking of solutions to improve a
They
metric.
do. They do.
Uh, so it's kind of.
You can choose to be someone who does both product management and product designing as you go forward. So you could literally be the head of product who understands everything, and then like that could be like your L1 goal of sorts.
Mhm. I think so. I spammed a profile recently of head of product of Google Pay India. His profile is out of the world. Carnegie Mellon, MSc, HCI, MBI in Bangalore. And I'm like, bro, how do you get at this position? And I was just backtracking his life story, and I'm like, it's insane. We have everything out there to be put out. So I feel that's why I told like, and so he took a break when he was already at a very high position to learn product management from the best out there, and then get back to that the whole thing. So I feel product management is kind of after a point you need to learn it as a designer also,
Yeah,
because yeah, end of the day, you're improving metrics. Your goal is to make designs that help improve metrics. So,
yeah. Uh, so basically, that's is what you can do in this sort of a scenario. That you utilize whatever tools you have in a better manner so that you become a better designer and
mhm,
not be intimidated. In the end, OpenAI's ChatGPT is a tool. You go on the internet, you start searching for something, and that's where you get information from.
mhm, mhm,
Google is a tool. Figma is a tool. You utilize all of this in order to create a product. So
mhm. It's
that's
how you use them to create that.
yeah, you get better using them, or you stay where you are being intimidated by them.
Makes sense. How are you using ChatGPT and all lately to, in your workflows? Have you kind of got them in your workflows by any chance?
Very rarely, I don't use ChatGPT as much. I use Dolly, I use Midjourney as well.
Okay, okay.
And that's more to get like inspiration, or at
Mhm.
least to
Kind of mood boarding.
yeah, it's also very it cleanses my mind because my entire day goes in like calls, it goes in alignments, stakeholder conversations, and when it's time to work, my mind is very like I'm tired. I don't
Makes
really
sense.
have a lot of energy.
Makes sense.
I need those creative juices to like start up
Makes
immediately.
sense.
I the funniest thing is I've literally been looking at I don't know if you know Xander Whitehurst. Uh,
I haven't heard of it. What I would love
so
to know what it is.
this guy, so he has his own boot camp called Memorizely, and he keeps sending. He
Oh, okay. I know the guy who makes Figma prototypes.
yeah, the
He
guy
does
was
that.
super fast.
Yeah, super fast. I
Love
think
the
that's his branding. Oh my god, so
guy.
crazy.
Incredible, exactly. And my half inspiration literally goes in looking at his videos because firstly his energy is so high that you just feel
I
like
know.
you know
I
what
know.
I can do Well, yeah, so,
I so agree. And then I love his videos. Like same format, same branding. And I was like, it's like when you said, the guy who makes Figma, I was like, okay, this is the guy you're talking about. So I just feel the personal brand he has built, insane. Like if people can relate on this level, then he's doing crazy out there.
I think even this guy is doing really well. Oh, I forgot his name. Uh, I think Atul is doing really, really well.
Designer Cred, right?
Yeah, him and wait, let me just find out who
They
the other
have
guy.
10x designers. Ansh Mehra.
No, not Ansh Mehra. Ashish.
Ashish.
The
Uh,
icons.
which one? Pick icons. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, the pick
Yeah,
icons. I've just been
I
in
think
chat with him few days back.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think they're doing really well.
yeah, yeah. He has a crazy big following on Twitter, and I love the way he keeps tweeting, tweeting, tweeting. He has a good following on LinkedIn itself also, and pretty insightful stuff. Like he has built whole new like whole credit card design system and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah, that's where he actually got a lot of recognition from because he created
Yeah,
the
and it got insane, insane noise. Like everybody saw it, and I was like, "What a cool way to go about it, man! So cool." I just dropped him a message few days back. Let's just. And I think so he's working. He's in Bangalore. I think so. He's looking for. I think so. He's already joining some company or something like that. But I just dropped him a message. Let's have a quick chat to understand what you're doing in life because I get kind of inspired from him. So yeah,
man. So honestly, Atul and Ashish, both of them are like very inspirational for me. Like I, I even have a feel like to get to. So if at any point you're in a conversation with them and you don't mind inviting me, just let me
I
know
would
there, man.
surely hop you on. Why not? I really want to reach out to Atul for another session on FOF. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do it, but I would love to. I'll ask Ashish if he can introduce me. But yeah,
Ashish
these are super, super. I love their things really, and love to have a conversation. I think I'll learn so much just talking with them. That would be super insightful. For sure, I'll surely drop you a message. If you're free and you can surely join in. Let me set up first. I think it's tough to reach out to them. They forget to see messages because they're so busy. And I'm like, fine, I'll nudge them twice or thrice. So
absolutely.
that is there. I think so. That's all questions from my side. I think so. We deviated a lot of topics, but I think so it was really, really nice conversation. So, nice deviations
I
for sure.
appreciate I appreciate that. And
I hope you had a good time. This is quick conversation
I
and
did, I did. This was a lot. Uh, this is fun. I was hoping for a fun conversation. I had a slightly hectic day at the office. I was hoping for a fun conversation. It was fun.
thank you, glad. I think so. I only took you 1 hour, and I'm so sorry for that.
It's fine. I don't have anywhere to go. It's fine. If anyone has any questions, please do ask.
Okay, good. Guys, if anyone has any questions, if they wanna unmute and ask something, please drop a chat, and I can do that. I'm so sorry taking more time.
No,
I'm just asking once if anyone is up for anything.
that's completely alright.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, definitely, Devesh. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, the wish is there. I'll just give him the permission. Just a second, Devesh. I'm just trying to give you the permission.
No worries, no worries.
Uh,
I feel like this entire conversation has become like a Twitter space sort of a thing.
I know, I know. I want to start doing that soon. I want to grow my audience on Twitter now. So it's
It's
kind of
fun,
cool.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, I love this conversation. I think it was one of the best conversations I had in quite a while. I would love to do more of it. Like, why not? I just realized it on the call itself. Um, for some reason, I am unable to kind of dish. Yeah, Kavan is gonna be recording for the session. That's fine. I'm gonna put it on YouTube. I'm so sorry, Devish. I'm unable to kind of, give you the presenter permission for some reasons. The only reason I'm using this platform is because I can, record it. So, Sorry for unable to give you the permission. Really, man.
I didn't even know about this platform.
Yeah, it's a platform by FOF itself. The
Yes.
very platform where you host these events out there. It's a FOF thing, Friends of Figma thing.
Fun. I'm very happy they allowed me to like blow my background. My background is not nice at the moment.
I noticed it first time you can blur your background this time around. I've been doing it for twice. I never noticed it. Thanks to you, I noticed it. Man, this has a very gone case UI for sure.
Okay, I wanted to ask you both, how can someone like me prepare for big MNCs? Okay. Um, how do I see? It's not really about big MNCs. I feel like, okay, I think the first question that you probably need to ask yourself, Devish, is, are you happy with the work that you're doing? If you are, like if you feel like, this is something that is making sense, or that you've faced a lot of problems while even creating this product, then I think then that is a good product to start with. Because one thing that I've really noticed in any sort of interview that I've had with an MNC is that they are less worried about what your output was. They're more worried about how true you were to this product. What sort of constraints or what sort of problems did you face while you were creating this? How did you navigate yourself through all these issues? And why do you believe that this is something that really worked? Um, you have to, of course, follow like the small things that um, you did user research. Why you did user research is because you're designing a product that is going to people, that is going to be utilized by those users. You did A/B tests to understand whether this worked or not. So if you are happy with what you're creating, then that is something that you can show up on your case study. If you aren't, then that's completely okay. All you have to do is try and figure out what is, so okay, if I'm applying to a company like, man, give me a good MNC.
Meta, which is already firing lots of people, but that's just.
No. I feel bad about recommending someone to
Same here. They just fired 10,000 people yesterday. I'm like, what are
okay,
you
okay.
doing?
How, sure, customer
Airbnb.
experience. Okay, Airbnb is fine. Um, Make a comparison with Booking.com and Airbnb.
UX
Booking
sorted.
Booking is very, very well done. It looks terrible, but it's very, very well done. And
Mm-hmm.
designers at Booking are also very, the UI is absolutely shit. But it works for them, and it works terribly well for them.
Yeah, I
I
feel I feel
amazing.
UI is not everything. If you see Amazon UI, you're gonna die. But Amazon works like crazy. The richest man on earth owns Amazon. So I'm like, what's the point? If it works so well for you, like Amazon UI is, the UX is amazing, but the UI is like, what are you doing? But the
Yeah,
UX is insane. They have some very dark UX. I was going through one of the growth design case studies. Oh my god, insane dark UXs that they have built.
I am very, very well aware. The competitors who are, we literally have to spend a lot of time on their app. So just
Oh,
on
okay. You would know. You're building on e-commerce product.
so to answer Devish's question, so let's take the example of Booking.com, or let's take the example of Airbnb. Um, what they're doing, you see what sort of structure they're creating with their flows. Product first, and then you look at who their competitors are. You see what Airbnb is probably doing better than their competitor, and then you create something that is relatable to an interviewer from Airbnb. So if you're applying at Airbnb and they look at a product solution that you have created for Airbnb, might just be in their product roadmap, then they're going to be like, damn, this person thinks exactly like us. This
That's a very cool
person.
way to go about it. Yeah.
So you already kind of have a good connection with them then, and you've already reduced all the presenting your case study and telling them the story of exact everything that's happening. Just present something that they might, and you start from there. They might as well think, you know what, this person's great, and we can invest into them so that they gets better. So getting a
Mhm.
buy-in from all.
But I feel, yeah, like as someone is starting in UX, it's kind of tough to break down their UX. So how would you approach that? Because like they're very polished at times, you know. So what is your approach?
Okay, so again, two ways of going about it. Try to
Hmm.
simplest way to go about it. Try to give it to someone who's not hyper aware of the. Ask them to do a booking on Airbnb, see where they are failing, and then ask another cohort of users. So you ask your parents, or ask like a friend to do a booking, and see where they are encountering issues or what they are noticing. Uh, then you'll basically get an understanding of if if people are noticing some things in Airbnb, Airbnb is doing a good job at showing those sort of things.
Hmm.
Um,
So you
but
can pick
if
that out and tell it in a kind of.
exactly, right. So those are things that are working. But if you feel that one of the features that is there, which is somewhere along the lines of, let's say, host booking, or no, host booking isn't even a feature. Sorry, I don't know, and it's one feature that you probably feel that it makes sense for them to have
The
it, and
super host kind of thing, real super host and stuff like that.
Sorry, yeah. So you think that requires a little more recognition because you believe a lot of people will actually benefit in terms of making decisions. If they think this company, this uh, area, or this villa is being hosted by a super host, then the chances of them converting is higher because great
Hmm.
place and
Just
super.
categorizing it, just a mental model for it. That is, this is better, that's not better, kind of. Just like star rating, but in a better way format.
That is one way to go about it. The second way is just go on Medium. See, you will find 200 case studies or 200 articles about any particular company that's not doing. Or just go on Twitter. You will find that people complaining about something or the other. So
Makes sense. Yeah, just pick things from there. Also, you can talk to people on ADP list. I love doing that. Just booking a call with people from there and
man, I have to. But so I still date. I still get like a lot of people asking me that can we have like a
many
session with
openings.
you.
Yeah.
I feel so bad about just saying no because I can't find any time for myself.
Makes sense. No, I was telling like people can book like calls with designers
Yeah,
from Airbnb. As in, like if you want to know more about Airbnb, who is a better person than the Airbnb designer
makes sense. That
to
makes sense.
help you out with things. Um,
True. Damn rule that I really appreciate that. I just started my transformation journey myself, man. I appreciate what you're
congrats on
doing.
that. I have no idea how much Drupal is lifting. So Drupal, if Anurag are doing well, that's crazy. And thanks for joining in, by the way, with with everything you're doing. That's so cool.
Yeah. Chirag on having a social presence as an account designer. It's important, 100%. You need to showcase yourself as much as possible. To be honest, I saw so many interns getting into cred and different places just because they made something really cool on LinkedIn and posted it
Mhm.
or tagged the right people. So showcase yourself as much as you want to. Try and make sure that
Yeah, I think I
everyone
saw someone at Meesho. She did a UX audit of Meesho app. and she
Nice.
got like hundreds of comments like, if not me, she'll join us. And I'm like, so cool. That is a good way. I feel generally building social presence is good because I've been trying to build my social presence on LinkedIn for quite a while and want to start on Twitter soon. Uh, I just
Yeah.
feel, audience is a costly thing right now. The next, money is going to be audience. If you have an audience which love you, you can sell them things. Uh,
Yeah.
and people like earning crores just by building that audience. And I feel it's crazy value. Um,
Yeah.
like
At
Mr.
some point,
Beast is a unicorn. Bigger than a unicorn, he's a startup which is totally
yeah.
profitable. He wants to be, and I
Man,
feel that is insane. Like he can sell anything. He builds a product, the shittiest product in the world. He can sell it because he's Mr. Beast. I feel
exactly.
that's the power of audience. So I just feel anyone should build audience nowadays if they want to. They can have time and effort to it.
I'm gonna say something a little controversial. At some point, you have to leave ethics out of the picture over here because going
Mhm.
for everything is going to be.
Yeah, of course, please, yeah, don't go for everything that is there. Again, it's your personal choice. I really want to build an audience. I'm trying to.
No, no. So I'm completely with you. I get what
Mhm.
you're saying. Just saying that, like, to anyone who wants to start and or is hoping to, have that sort of a thing, is maybe Parul Gulati.
Mhm.
Um, leave ethics out of the picture because that is going to probably reaching a different milestone than you would have.
What is ethics? What do you mean by ethics?
When I say ethics, like, creating an audience just so that you can sell something to them later on.
Yeah, of course that mindset won't work out. So of
Yeah,
course, like I think so. Yeah, that is not a right mind to start with. Also, nobody will follow you if you are trying to create an audience like that. Who cares to follow you? That way, to nothing will work. I think so. It's about creating value first, lots of value first. Like what think there's a very famous, I forgot his name again. Anyways, Gary Vee. He tells, jab, jab, jab like jab, jab, and hook. It's basically you give lots of value and then just one hook out there
yeah,
subtly
yeah.
so that you sell. I think Yaslo got so big because of his providing so much value and then minutely selling things here, 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 here. I feel that's the way. Of course, you can't go with the mindset and go with the money. Of course, that it doesn't work out like that. Nobody will follow you. Who cares to follow you if you just want to sell your products?
Yeah.
That is for sure there. Cool. I think that's all. I think I took enough of your time. And it was a great session, Anurag. Thanks a lot for joining in on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday evening, which is a midweek hectic time. So means a lot. And yeah, I think so. Yeah, we already extended 18 minutes more than expected. So
That's okay. No worries, no
sorry.
worries.
Yup. Thank you, everyone.